Hello fellow woodworkers, and welcome to this week's edition of a new series of videos on maintenance. This week we're going to be taking this internal dishwasher and taking it from this to this. Roll the intro. So this is the first project that I've done on this new series, which isn't strictly a woodworking video, but there is going to be quite a bit of woodworking involved in this. So I've recently bought a new dishwasher after my last one gave up the ghost. It's temporarily in there. I just put it in to check that it fitted. The dishwasher that came out is exactly the same size as this dishwasher, the one that's going in. Well, technically speaking it is, although as you can see this one is sticking out a little bit more than the other one did. So the plan for this video is to follow the instructions on installing the dishwasher, which I've just turned on installing the dishwasher and putting on the door. Now I have the door from the last one, which is here, the cabinet door, which strictly speaking, had I been able to replace this, I would have done, because to be honest, it's a bit grotty on the top. All of the kitchen cabinet doors could do with replacing in here, but as we know, that would cost a fortune. Now, the fixings on here, of course, aren't the same, and this has a completely different set of fixings to the dishwasher. So what I'm going to do in this video, hopefully, is take you through the process and take you through the instructions to see how closely they match. Now, I've also got a kickboard that I've got to put back in, and it is the longest kickboard in the entire universe. It's one piece and it must be a good 12-18 foot long. I'll show you it in a minute. It is pretty substantial. So when I've got this in and I've got it exactly where I want it to, I'm going to go around changing the kickboard, because I've also put in a new wine fridge that I need to get it around. So we'll do that first, but the first things first, I need to measure this gap and see what area we've got to raise up the dishwasher so it fits in. Let's do that now. And so this is the beginning of the kickboard, and it goes all the way, pretty much the whole length of the kitchen, and in the middle it's got this join which I need to separate. I think it's just a case of hooping off those caps that are on the top and unscrewing it, but this is the section that we're going to be dealing with today with the dishwasher. Okay, so I could see already that the dishwasher wasn't level, and at this end, and bearing in mind this has literally just gone in on the floor, which obviously isn't flat, so this end I've got 7.6 centimeters or 76 mil. In the middle I've got about 70, I keep doing it on, in the middle I've got about 78, 79, and over here I've got about 82 mil. So I've got quite a gap, quite a variance. Now there are legs obviously on the dishwasher that you can adjust, but that is actually quite a significant gap. So what I'm tempted to do is to get a piece of worktop that I've got lying around outside and put that on the bottom, rather than putting things under the individual feet of the dishwasher, which I could do. I could just put blocks of wood on, which is what it was as it was before. I'd rather put try and put in a level whole raised up surface. That way I can make sure it's level, then I can just put the dishwasher on it and try and put the entire unit in together, because although there is a clearance there, I want to try and get this as close to the top as I can, obviously, because the dishwasher is going to move and vibrate. And I've also got a strip that needs to go on the top here, a steam strip to stop any of the steam coming in and going through. So I'm going to go and see if I can select some wood from the garage that is about the right width. I'll obviously leave a couple of mil. Then when I've got that in place and I've leveled that up on the floor, then I can go ahead and put the dishwasher on it. So let's do that now, after we turn the dishwasher off. Okay, so I've got this old piece of worktop, which is exactly 40 mil, excuse me, and I wanted to get to 76. So I've just cut two blocks of standard CLS stud-work timber, and these are 36 together, sorry, 36 high. So I think if I just put this batten on both sides, I will then have 76, which is the minimum gap on this side, and I can use the legs on that side to adjust it to get it to the right height. So I'm just going to attach these now and then put this on the floor and just check it fits in the gap. So I've just got these offcuts of wood that I'm going to use just to batten around the edges just to bring it up to the right height. So after I attached them, I checked very, very carefully and measured again to make sure it was exactly the correct size. There was a lot of measuring involved in this build. I then screwed them in. I just used some basic wood screws for this. I put 3 in, but as it turns out that wasn't the correct thing to do, and I'll explain why that is in a minute. Okay, so I've got 77 mil now, which should allow me to just get this in at the right angle, and then I can use the legs on this side to raise it up to allow for the fact that the floor's not even. So I'm going to take the dishwasher out now, see if this fits with the dishwasher in it. Let's do that now. So I'm pleased to say, after an epic 35-minute off-camera struggle, I've got the dishwasher in. 2 things. The first one was I wasn't able to get the dishwasher to stay level on the piece of wood that I made, no matter what I tried. And it turns out that in the middle of the floor there's a little bit of a ridge. So I took out that middle section of wood. If you remember at the beginning I put in 3 bits. So I took out that middle section. So I've just got one at the front and the back. The dishwasher's really light anyway, I know it'll be loaded. But that's a thick old piece of worktop, so I think that'll be absolutely fine. And when I took that out, I was able to manoeuvre it in. I also took out the side panel here, just because it was getting in the way, but I put it back now. It's flush to where it should be, and it's absolutely dead level. So it's in, but one problem, which I think is going to be quite a big problem. At the back, there is an old pipe coming through the wall, through the old garden tap. It's capped off properly, but the indent on the back of this dishwasher is lower than the indent on the back of the other one. When we had the other dishwasher, the bit of metal, the sort of shelf metal on the back of the case was above the pipe coming through the wall, so the pipe sort of went in and you could push the dishwasher back. This one you can't, it's hitting the very bottom. So I've got 2 options. I can either take the pipe off, which I'm not going to do, or I could just let the dishwasher stick out proud a little bit. I don't think you'll notice when the door's in there because there's quite a bit of clearance here, and I could always pull this forward to make it look like it should be like that. But I don't really want to do anything else, and if I sort of try and pivot this, because the pipe's only on one side, it's going to stop this being flat, it's going to sort of angle back, and at the moment it's pretty flat, and it took a lot of finagling to get it in there. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put the panel on the front. Let's do that now. So I unhooked the clips that are on there and I put the new rails on. Unfortunately, the footage of me putting the new rails on has gotten lost for some reason. My GoPro just created a blank picture. Then I went on and there's the instructions. Then I went on, fitted the rails and offered it up. One final measure before I fitted the rails just to be sure. So with the rails fitted, it was then time to embed the screws in the door. If you've never changed a dishwasher door before, you have some screws that actually go through the frame of the door and into the wood. And luckily for me, those positions weren't in the same place as they were with the old one. So I literally just got the 4 screws that came with the fixing kit in the dishwasher door and just attached it, and then made sure that it was tight all the way around as much as possible. And when the door went up and down, it didn't catch on the framework of the door. But luckily, the screws that went in fitted perfectly. The head sank completely into the recess that was built into the door frame, so I didn't have any issues there. And when I shut the door, there wasn't any trap. It closed absolutely perfectly, which was quite nice considering the other issues I'd had with actually getting it level and getting the dishwasher into the right place. Okay, so the drawer is attached, and as you can see, it works. It's pretty level and slightly out on this side by literally a millimetre, and that's because the plastic on this side of the door, on the actual hinges, the plastic rails that hold the door in, was slightly buckled. I think it's just where it's been lying around in the machine. Neither of them were 100% straight, but it's good enough. And I think when the door is closed, you can't really see it. There is a bigger gap here at the bottom than there is at the top. And I'm going to partly fix that when I attach this to the ground. It is lying exactly by the side of the dishwasher though, and there is a little bit of a gap there, but this door, which is obviously under the sink, has also been a bit bowed over time. It comes out at the bottom. So partly that's the way the door's fitted, but not much. And actually I can live with that because all of these doors are going to need some sort of fiddling with at some point. But was it an easy job? No, it wasn't. Was it an easy job to fix the door on? It was. The actual difficulty in this job was nothing to do with the door. The difficulty was getting the dishwasher leveled and in exactly the right place, but I've done it. I hope you enjoyed this first in the series of little maintenance garage workshops. There'll be more videos to come, not every week for this, but as and when they come around. Hope you have a fantastic week. If this is your first time, please subscribe, like and comment, and don't forget I've got lots of videos you can look at in my channel. Take care, all the workers. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.